Welcome to Himani Coaching Center. We are committed to simplify concepts and amplify confidence of all the students who are watching our videos in their journey of learning maths, physics, and chemistry. Today, we are going to discuss some questions from competency-based questions from CBSE site. Most of you would be aware now the pattern has changed, and from this year onwards, CBSE and board questions would have CBQs, competency based questions, which is there in the site of CBSE. All of you should go and download those papers and try solving. We have taken few questions from that, and we are solving those for you today. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and like and share the video with your friends. Now let us look at first question. Here we are given a figure. The inner circles are filled with prime factors of the numbers given in the outer circle. Each number from 1 to 6 corresponds to the letter in its position in the alphabet A to Z. For instance, 1 is A, 2 is B, and so on. So now we are asked to, starting clockwise from star, which is there, find the word formed by the numbers in the inner circle. Show your work. Now, if you pay attention here, this number should be a factor of this and this both. So let us look at this. So 35, the factors of 35 are 5 and 7. Now this number cannot have 5 as a factor. Why? Because the unit digit is not 5. So that means 7 should be a factor. Okay. So 7 is the common factor. So 35 divided by 7 will give us 5 here. Okay. Now this number 133 divided by 7. So if you solve, you should get 19. Okay. So let us write 19. Now 209 divided by 19. So 19 ones are 19. 1 left over and 9 comes down. 19 ones are 19. And then 5 comes here. Okay. So we are supposed to find the word form inside. Okay. So let us quickly count. Number 7 would be what? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So this word is G. 5 is E, and again E because there is another E. Then we have to go to the 11th one. So G, H, I, J, K. So we have this word starting from, and now what are we supposed to do? We have to find the letter which is 19. So we have got 11 which is K. Now let us go. So L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, and S. So the word is geeks. Geeks. Now see, it's a simple question, but it is bit different because what is being done here is you are assessed on your knowledge. Okay. So be very clear. Again, a word of advice to all of you who are watching this video. Go to CBSE NIC site, download the papers, CBQs, and then try solving those. Now let us look at another question. Here we are given a graph of quadratic polynomial, and if you pay attention, the graph is crossing x-axis at 2 and minus 4. What does that mean? It simply means 2 and minus 4 are zeros of the graph. Okay, what does that mean? At x-axis y would be 0, so whatever this polynomial is, it would be 0 at 2 and minus 4. So you know the zeros. So if you know the zeros, then how do you form equation of the polynomial? So it is x minus a times x minus b. So since the zeros are 2 and minus 4, so x minus 2 into x minus minus 4, which will give us x minus 2 into x plus 4. Now we also have to see where is the graph cutting y-axis. It is cutting y-axis at -4. That means now out of these options, see x minus 2 and x plus 4 here and x minus 2 x plus 4 here, which one of these is the answer? Okay, both cannot be the answer. Now if you solve x minus 2 into x plus 4, what will we get? We will get x square 4 minus 2 plus 2x minus 8. Okay, now see, this is your f of x. Now, when graph cuts y-axis, that means x is 0. So let us find f of 0. So it is -8 if I am taking this value. But what is the value here? -4. That means this needs to be multiplied with half. So the entire equation needs to be multiplied with half, and hence 3 is the correct option. Kids, understand this. How do we know which one is right? First, we figured out the zeros. Then, we are simply using that when the graph crosses y-axis, x is 0. So, find f of 0. This value is f of 0. Okay. And these values are when f of x is equal to 0. Okay. Function fx equals 0 are these values. Those are called zeros or roots of the equation, while this value is found by putting f as 0. Another thing which you need to remember in case of uh, parabolas is, I'll just explain here and then get into the question. If a parabola is concave upwards, then the equation would be ax square plus bx plus c, and that means coefficient of x square is positive. Okay, A has to be positive if the graph is concave upwards, opening upwards. But if the graph is concave downwards or opening downwards, then coefficient of x square would be negative. So, whenever you see the graph, you should be able to understand whether coefficient of x square is positive or negative in that particular question. Okay, we'll see, these questions one more like this. Let us now go to, this is a 5 marker question and it's a tricky one. We are given if gx is equal to px square plus qx plus 152 is a polynomial where p and q are real numbers. The zeros of gx are distinct prime numbers. Okay, we are told that these are prime numbers. Okay, so we are supposed to find zeros of gx, values of p and q, and show your work and give valid reason. Now see, let us say alpha and beta are the zeros of this polynomial. So if this is the case, we are given this. See, whenever a polynomial is given, ax square plus bx plus c, we say sum of root s is equal to minus b by a and product of root is given as c by a. Okay, sum of root means alpha plus beta, product of root means alpha beta. In this equation, if you look at product of roots, that means alpha times beta, it would be c, which in this case is 152, divided by a, which is p. Since alpha and beta are distinct prime numbers, what should we do? Factorize 152. Okay, so if you factorize this, you will get 2 times 76 upon p. I'm just carrying the p. Then 76 is 19 into 4. So I can write 2 into 2 into 2 into 19 over p. So that means alpha into beta is 2 cube into 19 by p. Now look at the question. Question says the zeros are distinct prime numbers. So that means neither 4 nor 8 can be the root. So the root here would be 2, which is a prime number, and 19. So that's how we will figure this out. So we will say, and this is a tricky question. So now we will say alpha and beta can be 2 and 19. Now if that is the case, then divided by p. So what should be the value of P? P should divide 4 fully. That means P is equal to 4. From here only we can show that. I hope this point is clear. What did we do? We looked at the question. Question says the zeros are distinct prime numbers. We are finding the product of the polynomial, figuring out the factorization of 152 and going back to question, checking the prime numbers condition and telling that either 2 or 19. These are the roots. So what would be the value of P? Because if alpha beta is a product, then P should be able to divide 4 completely. Hence P is equal to 4. Now we have decided and figured out. Just a second. So let us quickly, okay, let me use something else here. No, it's not working. So so we have figured out that alpha and beta are 2 and 19, and now we will use this to figure out the value of Q. Okay, so give me a second. Now let us look at the question. So we know alpha is 2 and beta is 19. Now what is sum of the root here? Sum of the root alpha plus beta is minus b by a, so minus q over p. We got p as 4 in the last solution, and alpha plus beta would be what? 2 plus 19, which is equal to minus q by 4, which means 21 times 4 is equal to minus q, or q is equal to minus 84. Okay, students, my advice is you can pause the video, solve this question yourselves. Okay, this is very, very important, and you will gain more confidence by solving the questions yourself. Now, let us move to the next question. Here, we are given a parabola. Now, you see the parabola is shaped downwards. So, that means what? The coefficient of x square a should be negative here. Okay, just a word of advice on looking the shape. Now let us look. It says write an equation to represent the parabola shown in the graph. Show your work and give valid reason. Parabola is this parabola. Okay, they have shown. Now can you see it is passing through 0? I mean at x-axis 0 and this number is 8. So, what is the equation then? X minus 0 into x minus 8. Basically, x into x minus 8 or x square minus 8x is the uh, equation of the parabola. But the parabola is concave downwards. So, what will we do? We will put a minus sign in front of the entire working. Okay, and hence the answer now will become minus x square plus 8x. I hope you have understood this. Okay, this is very, very important. The shape of the parabola is concave downwards, so there has to be a minus sign. Okay, now let us look at the other part of this question. The same graph. Now we are asked state whether the following statements are true or false. It says if the zeros of the parabola ax square plus bx plus c coinciding with the second arc in the logo are given by sigma and 2 sigma, then c will be negative. Now see what is the shape of this. This is also concave downwards. That means a should be negative. Correct? Now, if the roots of the equation are sigma and 2 sigma, what would be the product? Alpha beta should be c by a, and since the roots are already given sigma to sigma, you multiply them, what will we get? 2 sigma square. Now, anything squared cannot be negative. So that means c by a has to be positive. So if A is negative, C has to be negative to satisfy this. So therefore, we will say, yes, this is true. Okay. So if these are zero of the parabola coincide with the second arc in the logo are given by sigma and 2 sigma, then C will be negative. Okay. I'm quickly revising this concept again. Since the parabola is concave downwards, the coefficient of x square A has to be negative, and since the roots are already given sigma 2 sigma, their product is 2 sigma square. Any square can never be negative. So therefore, in order to get a positive value for C by A, when A is negative, C has to be negative. Again, students, this is, the difference between your previous kind of questions which you were getting and this year onwards, because this is checking your knowledge. Competency based questions are a bit different. You are applying what you have learned. Okay. Now the second part says if the logo is shifted so that it is symmetrical about the y-axis, then the constant term in the equation of the parabola made by the first arc will be positive. So first arc is this. If this is shifted symmetrically, now think symmetrically means y-axis is this. We are just shifting it. So what will happen? This whatever is 8 will come here and 0 will go to -8. That is the meaning of this statement. Shifted symmetrical about y-axis. So now what are the zeros? -8 and 0. So what would be the equation? Again, x minus -8. So which is x plus 8 into x minus 0, and there is a minus sign in front. So you will have minus x square plus 8x or minus x square minus 8x. Do you see there is no constant? So then the constant term in the equation is positive is false, because one of the roots of the equation is 0. So the constant is not there. Okay. Hence this equation, this statement is false. Okay. Now let us look at the last question for today's video. This is from simultaneous linear equation. Again, it is a bit different because you are judged on your application of thought. So there is a question that Anjali solved the following equation for the value of x. 5x minus 2y equals 4, 3x minus y equals 8. Her solution is given below. Step 1, multiply equation 2 by 2 on both sides. So she does that and gets 6x minus 2y equals 16. Seems correct. Then it says solve equation 1 and 3 to get x equals minus 20. Now, see, if you look, when she is solving, she is subtracting this equation from first one. Okay, because 6x has become minus 6x, minus 2y has become plus 2y, and the mistake is here. She has not changed the sign of 16 to minus. Okay, so this is where you will show and you will say that mistake is 16. Instead of 16 there should be minus 16 in the equation below. Okay, and once we do that, then what will happen? So this part is done, and let us now change it to minus 16. So minus x would be equal to minus 12, and hence x is equal to 12. Okay, so students, this would be the last question for this video. Please like, share the video with your friends, do give your valuable comments, and solve as many questions as possible. Thank you.